What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and this is your match preview. It's Everton against Brentford, a game that Everton go into off the back of two home wins, a 2-0 victory over Forest, which some would say was fairly fortuitous, just based on the fact that they could have had a couple of penalties. And the other result, a 2-0 home win against Liverpool, a game where Everton fully deserved the victory. They wanted it more. And Everton go into this Brentford game in a very different place to where they were a couple of Mondays ago, where we got hammered by Chelsea 6-0. A game that, again, Everton will not want to remember for a long time. Yeah, they didn't play well. This game is a game that, in my opinion now, is... It's sort of a bit different. It goes from being sketchy to being potentially a game where Everton can play a little bit. Brentford have some good players. One key player for Brentford will be out. I say key, but he has a fairly big bitter part in Brentford's season so far. He's Neil Maupay. And he's a player that won't play due to him being on loan from Everton. Obviously, we know they've got other players in that team that are capable, and obviously the centre forward of Ivan Toney is always a dangerous threat. He's always a player that can get on the ball. He's a player that can score penalties. He's a player that can win the ball in the air. He's a very, very capable footballer. So, I always worry when you come up against players that have got a little bit about them and have got some skill and have got a little bit of pace as well. Tony's got all of that. He's a very, very good centre forward, and Everton have got to be on their game. It's a different test to what they've had against Forest, who didn't really have that sort of quality forward. Chris Wood is decent, but he's not Ivan Toney. And Liverpool didn't really have a centre forward, full stop. So this is a big test for Everton, big test for Brantwaite and Tarkowski. And we have seen that Brantwaite has been bullied by big centre-halves before. We've seen that Tarkowski can have a tough game. So they've both got to be on their game, in my opinion. But let's talk about Everton. Let's talk about how well we played and how we can maybe mix that up against Brentford. Everton were commanding, they battled, they forced, they won every first ball, they were lunging in for every second ball, they did everything they could to have the ball against Liverpool when they needed to have it. Liverpool had 70-odd% possession, but that was because Everton let them have 77-odd% possession. They wasn't bothered, because it was only until they was in the final third where Everton started to defend and started to carry the ball forward and started to do more with it. And I thought Ladrissa Gana Gay was fantastic. People keep correcting me in the comments, and I don't care whether I say it wrong. I've said it like that for 10 years. It is what it is, people. I thought James Garner was the bit of energy that sometimes we needed. He can carry the ball. He's got a little bit of pace as well. And Doucouré, look, Doucouré can't pass. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He can't pass. But what he can do is he can carry the ball well. He doesn't really distribute, but he stretches the pitch for us. He gives other players in and around the team the ability to get into space, and he needs to do that in this game, in my opinion. Well, we're going to be without Mikalenko, so I suspect you're going to see maybe Seamus Coleman play right back and Ashley Young play left back, or you'll see Ben Godfrey, who did a great job at right back midweek. You might see him again. Who knows? Another area that I think is really key for Everton and again did really well against Liverpool was the wings. I thought Jack Harrison, from a defensive perspective, probably had the best game he's had in a blue shirt. And I thought Dwight McNeil ran himself into the ground. So both of those players would play. Calvert-Lewin scored a goal. He's going to be buzzing. He's going to be flying. I'd like to see him start normally. And that's really the team for me. I'm thinking of score predictions, but to be honest, the other thing I'm worried about is when a game takes too much out of them. and you sort of get really hopeful and you go probably too far the other way. So, you can sit there and you're going round in your head and you're going 2-0, 3-0, 2-1, 2-2, and 3-2 and 4-2. And I sit there and I think, it would be Everton to go and lose this game, wouldn't it? And that's what I worry about. I worry that I'm going to be too overconfident. I'm going to go, right, we're going to win this game and it's going to be an easy result. Brentford are a decent team and they've found a little bit of form. They got themselves out of trouble and they've made it essentially a 2-horse race for 18th place, essentially, with Forest and Luton, because they pulled away from it before us, then we've pulled away, and now Forest and Luton can battle it out between them. I am going to go with an Everton win, but I don't think it's a convincing one. And I'm not saying that because I don't love the club and I'm being over dramatic. I could see us being a little bit leggy. It was a tough game, a physical game, a Merseyside derby on a Wednesday night, knowing you've got a game on a Saturday. You know what? It's tough running, that is. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a 1-0. I'm gonna go with a cheeky goal from Calvert-Lewin again. And I think we just need to get through it. We've got some games coming up now where we can win. I think we can go to Luton and win, and I think we should beat Sheffield United at home. If Everton could finish the season with 5 wins out of 6, because look, I don't expect anything at Arsenal, so I'm not sugarcoating that. The last time we went there, we lost, 4-0? The time before that was 5-0. I'm expecting nothing. Okay, so, but I do quite fancy it. I do quite fancy 5 wins in 6, and Dyche gets a new deal there. I'm joking, but I just think if Everton could beat Brentford, and then they go into these games with Luton and Sheffield United, I'd be chuffed. I'd be chuffed if this Everton team still finished on 40 points after having 8 removed. I would be absolutely over the moon. And if this Everton team had it in them to do that, then I do feel like there's almost a bit of positivity around the club again. We don't know what's going on with the takeover and it's looming over our heads. And I just think, what? If we can just keep going this season, I'll be over the moon. I really will. So, look, I'm leaving it there. I'm not going to overkill it. I'm hoping we win tomorrow and keep it up. And then we can go into next weekend and give Luton I think it's next Monday, actually. So we've got plenty of time to recover and just give them a good go at it. So, guys, look, I'm leaving it there. Keep smiling and remember, hit the like and subscribe button and I'll see you soon. Peace.